And what's
or invading the enemy jungle, or playing defensively back in your own. And it's tough because you're punishing Joy's slow early clear. We didn't get to see much of a leash at the same time, so well done to Echo, utilizing all of the tools in their arsenal.
A very tough game indeed, right? I mean, Joy was behind already, and in that mid-game, late-game Radiant Armor was built, so not enough damage for the Joy to really burst. Sure, he can target the Eve, which we saw earlier in Game 1, but Eve wasn't wearing any magic resistance, wasn't wearing any Radiant Armor, so a clear target, but then again, overall, it was just a tough game for Super Ken.
Yeah, cut back to just Sanford on Uranus, just salt popping away, just running off. Oh, nobody can catch me, nobody's gonna kill me, even at 1% HP.
Yeah, so either way, moving towards game number 2, I really feel Biggitron Alpha, they gotta make sure that their early game is not interrupted, because we see glimpses when it comes to the team fights. They looked very good. It's just that one point around the purple area where we saw Saken, unfortunately, it's like, okay, I can go in, but Outplay with the Brody was able to specifically target the Beatrix, having enough stacks, and then using the torn apart memory, and it's like, okay, 1 HP left, anyone can go get it.
Uranus.
And then Uranus just comes in and then sweeps it away. So it's one of the situations where they have to be careful. But speaking of being careful, you guys got to be careful when you guys are buying a phone, because you want to use it for a very long time. So make sure you guys get the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Again, thank you very much for sponsoring this amazing event. Snapdragon Pro Series, again, powered by Samsung Galaxy. Make sure you guys get one for yourselves, because it's amazing.
It's a great phone. I mean, if you want to be able to walk away just like Sanford at 1% HP, you're going to need to make sure you have that AMOLED 120 Hz screen as well from the Samsung Galaxy S23. Because if you don't have those frames, man, you won't know when you're 1%. You'd know when you're like 5%, but not 1.
Dude, 1% and then healing back up to almost 100?
I hate this hero. I hate the guts of this
Uranus,
hero.
man.
Dude.
Maybe game 2, ban it out, or
why not?
I mean, Biggitron has the first pick. They opted for that Joy pick.
Why not?
Pick it up, I guess. No.
Why are you complaining? You don't like the hero.
I really don't like the
So
hero.
just ban it.
I would say that at the very least, if it is open, you're looking to pick it up for yourself, right? I feel like BTR and as well as Echo have very opposing ideas to how they actually want to play out these team fights, right? Team fights, team fight priority, and even scaling. Because they only had 2 heroes that technically were looking to scale. The rest were looking to just be hard, tanky, beefy boys. And then we come back to Echo, who's like, we don't just want tanky, beefy boys.
And girl.
And girl.
Because Ruby.
We wanted utility. And I think, you know, in that sense, it gives them more flexibility and diversity to approach the situation. Unless you're BTR and you're Super Vin, sometimes it just falls into your lap. Does it not? Does it not?
Yeah.
He's at the right place at the right time all the time.
Oh,
I mean, that shows experience, right? I mean, I think Super Vin can do that because he trusts his team. Because he's like, I don't have to cover for you there. I can flank from behind and then do something to set things up for you guys. So I kind of feel like that's the trust built within Biggitron. So they're like, okay, guys, just don't die. As long as you guys don't die, I'll come to get a good save.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Biggitron showed heart in that game. They were falling behind already from that early, but it seems like they were able to just hold on till the 20th minute. So, you know what? Game 2, it's a reset here. So just a couple of tweaks in their draft, perhaps. I think the series, you might see a Game 3.
So honestly, because of this, I do want to ask you guys, were there any problematic heroes that we saw just now?
Eve. Stop giving Sanji Eve. He is way too comfortable on this hero. That's number 1. And second of all, especially when you don't have another form of suppression to stop it, especially if you are going to be the marksman, like you mentioned it before. Beatrix, she's super broken, right? Get the Haas Claw, she's essentially going to just 1v5. The only problem is that RWM does not let her get into the fight to free hit.
True. Very good point.
Yeah, maybe I really dislike a Faramis going up against the Eve, right?
Oh yeah, that's true as well.
I mean, they picked up the Eve first, and then the Faramis, sure, you have extra sustainability with that call of altar, but head-to-head wise, Eve is going to win 9 out of 10 times.
So I think I can agree with that. but somebody, it's a draft, right? Not every lane can be a winning lane. I just hope that Key doesn't get shafted this time around.
Okay, it's still Key. Is it? Do they swap members? No.
No,
it's okay.
they didn't swap members.
If you can see their faces, man, you got very good eyesight.
I can see their names.
Look, I got glasses
I
for
can't
a
even
reason.
see their names.
Maybe you should consider getting glasses. They're pretty good.
Not gonna lie.
That's a new invention, by the way.
Not, wow. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, that was like borderline offensive. Even I felt that.
All right, jumping into the draft. Bigatron betting out Valentina as well as Claude. Looks like Bigatron Alpha is the second pick here, and Echo is the first. And looks like Echo not changing their bans.
Same approach. Oh,
Yeah.
they switch sides, right? Bigatron here with the second pick.
because of the order, I'm guessing Echo is first pick.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a fair assumption here. So with Echo being on blue side and then looking at Bigatron going on to the red side, having second pick,
Okay.
it's great for the second phase. And I think that's
They
going
heard
to be, yeah, I mean, it's going to be very helpful for them because at least they can respond exactly how they want to against Echo rather than just being like, here are a bunch of questions that you have to answer. Oh no, I've run out of questions to give.
Now the question is, Sanford, does he want a first pick Joy here?
Joy Uranus again is also open. Is it worth to pick it up first pick here? Because last time it was third pick, right? The Uranus. Let's see here.
Okay,
Give,
like
banned out though. Oh.
Sanford is just like, yeah, just give me anything. Trust me, it'll be great. But
I'll deliver.
yeah, Kaja first pick for JP.
Okay. Kaja super early on. This is rather strange, right? You go, I mean, yes, JP played like a very, I would say very flashy in game number one. Honestly, borderline disrespectful even.
Sometimes helping out Bigatron.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, okay, sure. What's the play here coming out from Echo, right? BTR, we'll see what the response is. There might be some minor adjustments if there's a good time to actually, if there is a good time to, oh, I was about to say steal away the Eve, but they've already banned it out. So
Yeah.
one problem solved.
No, that's why I said they heard you. Don't let Sanji get the Eve.
Sorry, I'm just gonna move this box just a little bit so I can see the bands better. All right, now we see the oh, bad. The Farmist and as well as the Uranus, and it feels like even though Yves is banned, Bigatron's like, I am you, brother.
Yeah.
They don't care. And a very good pickup as well here with the Uranus, but the Deroth is open.
Oh, yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah.
There you go. Deroth and perhaps one good hero. You know what? Sakura Claude here just makes sense.
I mean, if it wasn't banned out, they would have guaranteed locked it in, bro.
You have to move your box as well.
Yeah, I need to move my box.
Yeah.
as well.
All right, so we see
the Farsa.
So we see the Farsa, once again, an artillery mage coming in for someone like Sanji is always going to be devastating, but at least it is punishable.
Yeah. You know what? Here, oh!
That's what
Wait,
I'm talking
what?
about.
I was about to say they need some kind of burst. It's got a bursty.
Easy backline access, and more so, at least the early game is probably going to be a lot better for Bigatron.
Now they got to ban out those very annoying junglers. Yeah, ban out the Boxia, ban out the Fredrin. Because you don't want to get invaded, man.
Or Brody, right, who also is good in that gold lane.
True.
Going up against a Fanny, perhaps one Fredrin, one
I almost want to say
Brody.
Boxia, man. Right now, Boxia feels more annoying than the Fredrin, but
True.
never mind us. We're not good about the game. They're banning out Martis.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so they ban out the Martis. They know that they have like a lot of damage from the two picks from Echo side, the Dairoth as well as Farsa. I kind of get it. If they are going with Gani's idea, they're probably going to ban out the Boxia alongside it. But let's see what Echo does. They get rid of the Franco. Okay, so suppression, same situation again.
I mean, Joy is still open, but
Joy is still open.
I
but
mean, Joy Jungle if they want it.
Joy Jungle is a possibility, but Brody, why I feel like Bigatron has an option to let it go is because they have the first pick in that second phase, right? Which perhaps they might pick it up for themselves here. So, yeah, they might commit to another fighter jungler here towards the ban. Fredrin? Or...
It's personal preference, right? Whatever Bigatron decides to ban out, there's got to be a very good reason for it. It's not like, get rid of the flex pick, making sure that it's not awkward for them, and now Echo has to respond.
Ooh, I don't know. What will they ban? Kadita is still open, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. do they really care about the Kadita? I feel like, yes, you could put Farmers in the support position and then Kadita into the mid, or vice versa. It really depends on how they want to play it. But I feel like Echo, at the end of the day, their composition, especially when you have that Dairoth, like, yes, team fights sound like a good idea, but Dairoth is kind of just there half the time, right? Unless they have a strong 4, which I think is a little bit more important for Echo's side, they're probably looking for some bigger tanks at the very least. Get rid of the 1-1. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, 1-1 getting banned out. So here, again, I kind of feel like Saken's Beatrix just now is pretty good. Don't know whether they want to lean on that again or just like what Gotti said, just pick up the Brody so that the Fanny will have a better time. And again, Brody is still pretty good, legit pretty good. And you kind of don't want to give that again with the Kaja. Because Kaja flickers in, catches anyone, and then like what, 2-3 basic attacks and it's done? I mean, if it's not done, then just torn apart memory.
I guess. I mean, if Bigatron wants to deny it away, that'd be perfectly fine as well. We'll see how this goes. Beatrix once again, yep.
Whoa, so they will ignore.
If it ain't broke, man.
If it ain't broke.
The answer to all your problems, just have a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you throw enough cash at it, it probably will disappear.
Yeah.
True.
Advice for you kids.
Advice for the next generation.
Study hard, work hard, get a lot of money.
All right, let's come back to Echo as they need to finish off their lineup, right? They see the Fanny, and it looks like I don't think it's going to be as oppressive. They can still technically go for the Boxia if they want to. They don't have a lot of peel. There's a lot of damage, a lot of pickup potential from Echo's side. So it's either they lean into that even more, or they start to diversify. And this is they're actually leaning into it even more.
Whoa. I mean, it makes sense because the lack of CC, which finally they respond with an Atlas. The Karina was picked.
Wow, okay.
But now with an Atlas, it's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be super interesting because Superfin is going to use it. I don't know how to feel about this, so I'm just going over to Mirko and Eterna.
And to us, you are. Wow, all right. What an amazing and surprising last pick there into the Atlas for the side of Bigatron Alpha. And I gotta say, I think it works really well against the competition coming in from Echo, where they picked up something like the Karina, the Dairoth, Kaja, Brody, who are relatively short-ranged.
We've spoken about this, Eterna, literally behind the scenes. We just spoke about why maybe Key was opted in instead of Moreno. The flexibility between these two, Key and Vin. Usually when you see an Atlas pick, it's Key who actually goes on the Atlas and Vin will then go on the Faramis. I don't know if this is going to be the case. We did see earlier that no swaps were there towards the end. So maybe, just maybe, they feel like, you know what, Vin's a roamer, let's keep it that way.
Okay, we'll see. Because if it wasn't Key, that's a power pick. We've seen that all the way since, I don't remember how many seasons ago. And
7.
He's been, like that moment under the turret.
Against Onyx.
Dude, that's still seared into my memory. Trauma.
It was pretty traumatic as everyone who was rooting against Bigatron Alpha at the time.
Of course.
But here, I mean, we gotta take a look at JP, man, because I think, me personally as well, I'm feeling a bit of trauma after game number 1. JP literally just nailed Bigatron Alpha down with those Divine Judgments.
So with that, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. Remember, it's down to a 1-0. If Bigatron can't secure this point for themselves, they're gonna be brought down to the lower bracket. None other by the Orcas. So you can see here with the Karina in the jungle, that's something that we don't see too often. Is it going to work?
We'll have to see. Again, I think this is the first pick that we've ever seen for the Karina in Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Final. So it really comes down to how Zyda plays. And knowing he's very invasive, knowing he's very aggressive in the early game, honestly, this pick synergizes really well with his playstyle. So if he's able to steal a few more camps against Super Ken again and get a massive lead where neutral objectives becomes 100-0 for him, it's all good.
Okay, and looking at the emblems here, looking very interesting. You can see that Zyda on the Karina opted for a little bit more penetration that I thought he might go for boots instead, but I guess he's looking for the damage here.
Yeah, so it's not going to be Karina tank, I believe, unless he wants to just rely on the base damage with some more penetration and even the mage emblem. We'll have to see about that. I do think, however, if he does go for damage, it's going to be very, very good for them. They can burst down almost everyone, even the frontliners. So Rizzo doesn't know that Zyda's there. You can see the damage coming down already as Superfan rotates up top. But Echo are first here, and they will surely take the dub in this trade.
Now, though, you can see that Zaida isn't playing the Karina like he played on the Boxia. He's a little bit more non-aggressive. It looks like he's more focused on picks rather than the... Oh, JP! Forcing a flicker right before the turtle. That's a really good resource there, taken out by Bigatron Alpha.
Oh, Sanford with a bit of a misplay, though. Now Sorizo with a flicker forward. Coming down, still stunned up. Key trying to splash a bit more damage with Super Vin. Now comes to the back. Sanford still able to dash out. Sanji with a feather airstrike. Well played. Echo got out of that sticky situation with their mechanics.
How is that possible? 0-0 still in the first 3 minutes of the game. None of them have even collapsed on the turtle. That's still the last thing on their minds. You can see that both of these teams are really focused on getting these picks, especially on those side lanes. But up to this point, both of them have read each other quite well.
Echo have still been a bit more aggressive though, and just as I say it, literally, they just do it. They are more aggressive. They know how to read Super Vin. And now without a roamer, now even with Zaida having a level lead, but Super Cat now jumping back inside with the cables. JP, half HP, doesn't have the Divine Judgment. Super Cat with a lot of damage coming down. Sorizo acting as the front line. But the airstrike coming down now onto Sorizo, soaking up that damage, has the Consecration, has yet to pop it off. And it's going to be the turtle dance this time. Bigatron still holding on to it.
Vin's back though. Vin's back with the Fatal Links as well, so they can't go in for a, I would say, unthinking protrusion into that turtle, and so they don't, right? Super Vin's presence alone is enough to stave off Echo there, but that was almost a good play for Echo. Meanwhile, on the top side, you know, the Sorizo, being able to get a little bit of an advantage in that lane, especially with how fast Super Ken is on the Fanny. The fact that he's able to mobilize onto the top lane, to the bottom lane, give a little bit more pressure here and there. Certainly what we saw from game number 1 with Echo holding most of the map pressure, we were really not going to see that here in game number 2.
Yeah, Bigatron Alpha definitely adjusting towards what Echo were able to bring in game number 1. But it still stays true though. Echo, they're a team who likes going for these neutral objective skirmishes even while behind, back at M4. With this lineup, it does seem like they're a bit more calculated, right? Not going for the neutral objective contest early on, understanding that they do not have as much pressure early, so they're waiting for that power spike. And when it hits in the mid-game, the Brody and the Forrester, heck, even the Karina and the Dyra, the whole comp, it's a mid-game power spike comp.
But I like what Gideon mentioned during the draft.
What did he mention?
He was like, Sanji is given a high artillery mage with a lot of damage, but this time, because it's not on the Eve, it's on the Farsa, that allows and gives a little bit of space for Bigatron Alpha to punish. And we see that, right? Sanji opens up that feather airstrike. You can finally see the dive coming in through. Maybe Sorizo was one of the things that we saw on the top side. And that alone is enough to prevent that damage from going through. So it really depends on how these teams are. Oh my god, well, not like that!
Oh, maybe like that. Zaida, follows through. Buys the Starlium site now, but hey man, I don't know. I say something and happens, you say something and happens. Maybe we should stop saying things.
It's not a curse though, because I was saying good things about...
We're blessing, yeah, technically?
Well, I guess it depends.
I mean, if you're an Echo fan, that was definitely a curse. You don't want Sanji to be picked off like that.
I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine. But the Echo fans will take it that way.
No, you won't.
All right, you love Yaoi, so it's all good.
They need to check this thing that I just uploaded, right? It's on the back of my phone, but back into the game here. 5 minutes, 6 minutes has elapsed. Already a hugely different picture that we saw in game number 1. It's a new drawing coming in from Bigatron Alpha. Already with a 400 gold lead, it's kind of going back and forth at this point, but this time around, we don't see outplay popping off too much from that early game, right? We don't see that snowball, and you can see Bigatron Alpha now already setting up for the next neutral objective. All the resources are up. The one thing that we need to highlight is the fact that both Zaida and Super Ken are on the same level, but even so, Echo, they're not going to commit.
Calculation. Remember what we mentioned earlier. This Echo isn't the Echo we know from M4 and MPL Peach Season 11. It is an Echo that is a bit more calculative in the way they take these team fights. Bigatron Alpha, though, if you want to play systematically, if you do not utilize that chaos, Bigatron Alpha are the systematic team. They understand how to utilize early game leads, neutral objective takes, and play it very disciplined and slow. And that's what we were seeing here with the lack of team fights. Oh, there you go, JP! He wants team fights! He wants to get in!
And that's a lot of damage. put onto him. And so that's going to be a good pick there for Echo on Cerezo. But once again, look at Bigatron just trading back in advantage to them as Super Cat. No way! He gets outplayed in a 2v1 against Zaida as well as Sanji. So now that is a good trade back for Echo, 2 for 2.
See? Make it chaotic. That's the Echo Express. That's how you play the game for Echo. That's their signature style.
Their oomph. The oomph.
Even from the items, you can see the
Yeah.
We kind of said it. Zaida will go damage. Yes, full damage. No longer tank Karina. The boring Karina is no longer.
I mean, we don't know yet.
No.
Right?
Please
We
don't.
only see the Starlium side so far. So she might go for hybrid later on, build a little bit of more defense. Or, you know, like you guys keep saying, you know, the best defense is a good offense. So full damage.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's what I've been saying in my streams as well. Just go full damage, fight it out, and don't be a nerd.
But what if you're behind like this? Oh, Echo in the bottom lane.
Oh, torn apart memory. Cerezo still surviving now. Full on engage. Superfin with a good, perfect match on the JP. Cerezo jumping in. Superfin! Oh no! He goes for the fatal ace, but it's onto the air. JP still falling. Super Ken picks that kill up. Bigatron Alpha still holding on to the lead. Nobody saw that. It's fine.
It's fine. No one saw that.
No one saw
that. Okay, now you guys can look back at the screen, right? Because that was so unfortunate for Echo. They went in for a pick, should have worked out. But how Bigatron Alpha worked was they were able to counter engage so well and actually take JP down in the process. So he's not going to be around just yet. Okay, well, now he's up. And both of these teams, they're looking and eyeing for the next prize, which is definitely this Lord. So Rizzo already there, trying to bait out Echo, trying to give information for his team as well. And there you go, Zaida, Holy Crystal, damage!
I love Zaida. You know, you mentioned Zaida, he's good, but he's no Carl Teasy. Yeah, he's not Carl Teasy. He goes full damage this time around.
I didn't say that.
Someone clip it, play it, or it was in group stage, somewhere in Echo game, all right? So with the Holy Crystal, though, we saw the burst to Super Ken without the Holy Crystal.
Yeah.
Now with the Holy Crystal, these members, if they are ever caught low, the team's gonna get wiped.
Here we go, JP already concealed play.
Perfect match, though, to cancel it out. Still the Divine Judgment coming through, but Superfin is able to take it out. No Divine Judgment. Super Ken is online now with no lockdown. Only the Brody, the reliable source of that CC, single target.
Yeah, they're resetting once again here as well. You can see Supervin not going to be able to utilize it so far, but what is able to be utilized is the fact that Super Ken in that top lane can go in for the push onto these waves. And I think wave management is one of the huge themes coming in from both of these teams because of the way that they play. They don't exactly go for that strong engage, but I might be wrong. Supervin already going for a pick. He doesn't find it.
No, but he did exactly what he wanted to do. Oh, he just...
We didn't see it
Nobody
again.
saw that. No, Vin, my goodness, another one. Outplayed! Wow! I thought it was just the Benny special. Turns out it's every gold laner who plays for Echo. Ken gets out. Echo with 1 kill to trade for that Lord.
Oh man. We went blind twice.
Yeah, that was a... it was blinding because Echo were able to sidestep away from everything.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to be optimistic about it, but here it is. Echo, they unfortunately aren't able to get that Lord, so it is still going to be pushing there in that top side. And meanwhile, they are looking for trades elsewhere, but Bigatron Alpha really quick for the read. And the cool thing about the Karina is that we haven't seen the Karina too often, even though that she's technically a counter towards MMs, like basic attack MMs. So let's say Bigatron Alpha, Saken, deals a lot of damage. That side of being able to push through all of it, no?
Yeah, it's going to be actually really hard to get through to the Karina, but if you are a marksman, if you are Saken. But the thing is, there's so much ability damage coming in from Bigatron Alpha. Whoa, with Divine Judgment, only on the Superfin though. Still able to escape here. Again, back to the point, so much ability damage, fair miss. Even the Bennett coming down with the Bennett's Rage, that is an ability. Even the ultimates, I think that you cannot actually immune from that with the Karina. So Bigatron Alpha have kind of drafted in a way where the Karina can only evade from Saken.
All right, we'll see. For the airstrike already opened up. You can see the damage. They're just using it to be able to clear so far because if we're looking at the map, it's definitely red this time around. a completely different story than what we saw in game number 1. It really all depends on JP here. Honestly, he needs to find a good pickoff.
Really tough this game, right? There's so many frontliners. Good dodge away from the perfect match. JP looking for the divine judgment, but Cerezo's kind of baiting it as well. Conceal, Super Vin, back into the bush. Bush control. BTR Alpha picks up the tier 2 up in the mid lane. And it's all tier 2s taken out.
Wait, look at Zyda. He's been there for so long. I don't think Bigatron know where they are right now.
No?
He's looking for a pick.
He's looking for Saken.
He
spots him again.
Super again?
Oh, Zyda!
Oh my
Zyda!
God.
Zyda! Oh, Zyda gets out. Zyda gets out.
Recalls. And it's almost as if nobody was there. No.
I guess Echo जीतेगा शायद.
Echo are usually loud, but in that case, they were just proud.
जीतेगा लग रहा है.
I'm quiet.
Drafting is
Did
good.
I ruin it? Sorry.
I mean, it was supposed to be a play on their name,
I
but
know,
sorry,
but
Turna.
it's okay, it's okay. I mean, right now, Bigatron Alpha, healthy lead, 3,000 here, the 12th minute of the game. Quite curious as to how the items are shaping up, but it might have to wait here as the Lord already spawning here in the Land of Dawn. You can see Super Vin already looking for a pick. The only person that can evade is Sanji with that Purify. But with that Feather Airstrike opened up really early. Interesting.
Yeah, that was an opener Feathered Airstrike. I think he's relying on getting the cooldowns here. Sanford knows where Supercan is. The whole team knows where he is. JP has a flicker. Conceal, popped it. Oh, JP! Beautiful! Lead done. Now Echo have the lead. Bigatron Alpha, they can't even contest this.
I think they want to though. Look at this. He conceal plays. They're gonna go for the fatal links.
On the JP, Benefit coming out with that airstrike on the back. Sanji instantly cancels it out right now with 2 members. Docked up by the Lord. They're gonna go inside and picks up the Lord. 1, 4, 2. Sanji in the midst of it all, Saken getting him down. Super Vin running him down. Perfect match connecting. Cerezo the flicker forward. Outplayed. Now gonna be brought back to the team. 4 for 1.
What is Shadow Stampede coming out from a Bigatron Alpha? That's 4 members taken down for the price of 1. A Lord as well for Echo. But it looks like Bigatron Alpha with a healthy 5. They're going to look to end.
Zyda now jumping in. Oh my goodness, almost does it. But Bigatron Alpha equalize in game number 2. 1-1.
1-1. GGWP by the Red Robots. Cold, calculated, and sublime coming in from them as well, forcing Echo a game number 3. And that's just how we want it, right? We want it to be this competitive. You can hear everyone roaring at the stage as well. This is the passion. This is the level of Mobile Legends that we woke up for.
Oh man. This now is back to a best of 1.
Yes, let's see what the analysts have to say about that game.
Well, first of all, we just got to address the Biga Troopers are very happy right now. And again, we got to give credit where credit is due, because Echo has been able to avoid all of those fatal links.
Yes, they
by
have been.
not dodging it.
By not dodging it. I mean, those were one of those... Look, even though Echo was able to not dodge it, the moment it lands, that 4v5 at the very end by the Biga Troopers, oh my goodness. Saken, he was like, it's time. I finally get to play the game.
Yeah, dude, you know what? I kind of feel like at that point with Supercat is just like, yeah, I'm the bait. You guys want me, don't you? Now let's look at this. Relatively, it's a very low score kill game. Like 5 kills, 7 kills, so it's all about the macro.
It really is. I mean, the high mobility coming out from Bigatron allowed them to get a couple of early turrets, but then afterwards, like Echo, they're just looking for those pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the composition from Echo, why they struggle here is JP. I feel like, okay, sure, he got 4 assists, but then again, his Kaja doesn't seem invasive. Very passive Kaja, and which allows Bigatron, again, utilize their mobility to gain more map control.
I mean, it's not only just that, right? Like, look at Sanford. The fact that he's taking lethal ignition on that Dyrov, he's like, I want to win this lane, and I want to win it really hard. But Cerezo's like, I'm Uranus, bro.
I don't ever lose. Because of this kind of things, even as an analyst, I say there's no absolute in any kind of thing. Because everyone says, and it is true, that Dyrov is the counter
to Uranus. Dyrov is the counter to Esmeralda. Dyrov is a counter to a lot of those bruiser type heroes. But still, if you're just good enough, kind of doesn't matter. And it kind of did show here. So it does seem like Echo in this particular series, they seem to be a little bit slow in terms of like, guys, what are we supposed to do? Because I don't see a lot of proactive plays from JP as well.
I mean, when you want to be proactive, you have to know when the counter engage is coming up for BTR, right? And that's the big problem with Atlas. You never know when Superfin, I mean, we saw in game number 1, Superfin comes up from very awkward positions and catches people off guard. It helps that he's on Atlas, who can hop over walls to make those angles even tighter. So it was Fatal Links that they were most worried about, and that's what got them at the very end.
Yeah, a very good mind game there for the side of Superfin with that Atlas as well. But MVP, it's gotta fall to the hands of Faramis.
Okay,
Call alter.
After this, during the break, I need to test it out. What does Favor do for Faramis, you know?
So far, it's been doing a lot of good for Key because he has been making sure that even when he goes into these fights, he minimizes the amount of potential damage that Echo is applying onto the team, right? A 4v5 is never going to be easy. A 3v5, guaranteed loss in a particular team fight. So it's great that Key is able to kind of help disengage the team, or sometimes when they want to go even further, that's when they can really start pushing themselves in.
I mean, Key in this game was just everywhere, right? Helping the team out on the very tightest moment as well. This is where the final engage happens, I believe. JP caught it was 4v4, and there you go, the call alter there was just really done, and the Shadow Stampede towards that end as well was made was why Bigatron Alpha was able to just crack their base open wide.
Actually, looking at that fight, I think it's very easy to say that communication was the MVP. Wanna know why? Because communication is key.
It really was. It really was. And looking at this, how these machine-like players, they're not bots anymore. They're a hive mind. They know exactly what they want to do. And with the shot calls that have been thrown out in this game, these are very high-stakes, high-pressure moments that they're able to overcome against Echo.
Oh, what would I do to see Merkel and Cherna's face just now? Were they cringing? Really wondering. It's all right, well, we can ask them later. But yeah, now it's a best of one because now we see a lot going on. Now the question is, both teams are able to do roster swaps here, right? Player swaps. I'm interested to see if JP is gonna get subbed out by Yaoi or anything, you know?
Do I think it is more of the compositional problem or a player problem? I feel like it's more of a compositional issue at this point of time, right? Because when you're thinking about it, oh yeah, I'm just going to latch on to one person, I'm going to pull him back in, you have plenty of combo, you have plenty of damage with the Dairoth and as well as the Farsa. But then you look at your opponent's side, the counter engage, the safety precautions and safety measures that they have in place. Maybe we're expecting to see, at least instead of going for that Kaja, turn it into a Kufra, look to be the aggressors rather than playing a little bit more passively than usual.
Yeah, I do see both of your points here, right? I mean, in game 2, JP wasn't really extracting what the Kaja could do. But then again, if they really want to commit with JP, I feel like they should just, you know what? Don't worry, JP should just play. Very tough. The thing is, though, Bigatron Alpha, will they swap out Moreno now with Key? But then again, Key got MVP, so you know what? I think we will stick with the same 10 rosters here. Game 3, adjustment-wise, Uranus here. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1, Echo got it, they won. Game 2, Bigatron got it, they won. Will they contest again, or will they just, you know what? Uranus too much, ban it out in the first phase.
I feel like if I was in Echo's position, the amount of flexibility that they try to position themselves in the first half of the draft is a little difficult. Like Arlet, why is Arlet not even a consideration?
Look, I really feel because of the Uranus, they're just like, yeah, let's just counter. And if you have the counter, it doesn't work out. But if you guys want to work out, you guys need a lot of energy. Make sure you guys get monster energy, unleash the beast, because with more energy, there's more that can be done. And both teams need a lot to get done. So thank you very much, Monster Energy, for sponsoring the event. Now, talking about it again, okay, fine. We talked about the players. Should they swap it? Should they not? We'll see it a bit later. In terms of the heroes, I do agree with your point. I kind of feel like at this point, ban out the Uranus. Don't give that advantage to either side.
I feel that yes,
And no.
I know,
I
because
mean, like,
again,
Dyrov couldn't do it.
I mean, to be fair, it's because Uranus is real. His numbers are really inflated at this point in time, and especially with the new emblem system, it makes it even better. Look at that stage, though,
Dude.
Woohoo!
Monster Energy for the win.
Monster Energy. But yes, I do think it's more of a compositional problem more than anything else, right? You are streamlining yourself. It's like saying the Samsung Galaxy is only good at one thing. That is not true. It is extremely flexible, and that's what you need in this game. I think for the first half of the draft, start positioning yourself flexible because you know Bigatron, they want a team fight, right? So why does Echo just want to streamline themselves to just playing pickoffs?
I do see your point here. I feel like Echo, again, I don't see the proactiveness from the side of Echo in game 2, which perhaps we should see from Kaja, from JP. So I think JP needs to be more, do the gambling play, do the ballsy move with the Kaja if they do want to commit to another Kaja. Any hero that JP plays, he needs to be the
aggressor,
be
the proactive.
Take the risk.
I mean, it is risky at the end of the day, and I understand where he's coming from because you don't want to get that counter. You don't want to be the linchpin like game number 1, pulling the wrong person. Oh no, they're all coming at us, and then the big turnaround after having a 4K gold lead in game number 1.
Here's the thing. I feel all of these points is going to be good because we're going to see a video of Bigatron Alpha for us to get a little bit more idea about what's going on as well.
I don't know anything. This one. Okay. What? Myself. Because when tournament I wrong ban the hero. Dia enggak. Oh ini sering nge-lag dia nih. Ini nih. Sulit. Always late bang. Sulit to ready. Okay. Always throw. Win. You throw man. When's the last time you throw again? Yesterday. Playing as a team. Then this guy is just doing nothing. Siapa sih? Ini aja deh gue pukulin lah. Udah amat. Yang suka main sih. Ah ini ya. Ini nih pukulin aja. We just follow. No, I don't know. Ini nih. Ini girlfriend. No left. Oh, this too. I don't know anything. What surrender? Oh, ini. Nah, this always surrender, people. If I so many die, I want for surrender. Let's go, you for surrender.
First is that I can more focus on the game itself. Second, it's the cheers from the crowds. It really hypes me up and makes me motivated to play my best game.
I really like play on stage because all my negativity is gone on the stage.
The audience, and like whenever there's clash and the favorite team wins, like they're so hyped.
Dengan turnamen offline mungkin ada penontonnya, jadi kayak lebih seru aja gitu kayak mainnya, terus bisa bacotin lawan juga. Jadi kayak lebih seru aja lah, kayak nyata gitu lawannya di depan.
Atmosfernya lebih dapat aja sih, karena kan kita bisa lihat musuhnya secara langsung. Terus juga ada penonton yang nyemangatin kita, yaitu mental boost buat kita juga lah.
I used to say that my performance is better online, but now I think offline is much better because of the communication wise.
Lebih suka turnamen offline sih, karena dari hype-nya itu, terus apalagi kalau main offline kan biasanya ada penonton, jadi teriakan-teriakan penonton itu bisa buat memicu adrenalin juga lah, biar makin semangat kayak gitu.
Playing online has no pressure. I mean, you can play whatever game you want, but in the on stage with many crowds, I think you can be more pressure, and then you'll be scared to play, like make more mistakes like that.
I'm very excited if I play offline because like I have a push my energy. It's getting fun like if play offline.
We gotta push to the limit and work till we finish the push to the limit and work.
So it looks like the players love the crowd, and I personally like them hitting themselves when even Dame is like, okay, yeah, guys, my bad, my bad. It's like, one of the one that I remember was something like, who is the most likely to throw the game? It's like, yeah, it's me. It's me.
It's definitely. I mean, everybody has their own kind of way to kind of think about things, but I just love the fact that Socket is just like, I don't have life. I don't do anything else. I just play video games all day. Just MLBB. That's all I'm made for.
Very entertaining video indeed. And my God, that was I like those type of
One
video.
day maybe we could do it.
Yeah,
there's an idea there.
There's a content idea
There's a content idea
there. But let's reel it back a little bit, because so far I'm noticing a trend that in the draft itself, I think it's not like it came down to like 1 or 2 moments. Half the time it's just whether you're on blue side or red side that really makes the difference in these matches.
You know what? You're right. So in this series, who got the 100% win rate? Blue or red?
Is currently red. Currently, it will be red side as of right now.
Wow.
As of right now in this match. And I think, that's a very key point here, because, again, when you are looking for those first picks, you are looking for opportunities to ask your opponent the question. Man, Uranus, he is quite the problem so far.
But I also have to say, they got to be very careful, because the first pick so far, you got to be careful on your first pick. Because so far today, we've seen some mistakes being happen when you have the first pick, like, because you're talking about not to be too narrow-minded in the way streamlined, because
vision.
I kind of feel like picking up the Kaja as a first pick, honestly, Kaja is like an anchor for your draft. Everything has to center around the Kaja now, right? So I kind of feel like that's a big mistake.
Yeah, it's literally a flagpole. It's saying like, I want to play a pick-off composition, and you're just hoisting up that flag for everybody to see. I do think that maybe we might see some adjustments from Echo side. We know that they're more flexible in comparison to BTR, but then the big questions start to come in. What do they release? If you ban out the Uranus, does that mean maybe the Claude or even the Valentina might just slip through the draft?
Maybe, right? Because it has been a lot of varieties has come out as well, and we saw that that particular game, Kadita was not banned nor picked, where we usually saw a Kadita banned in that first phase, if I'm not mistaken.
Usually. But even then, it's still a tough matchup. At the end of the day, it comes down to what the teams have been scrimming, and I feel like with JP right now, Echo has a very clear idea of what they want, but is that going to win them this final match?
So looking at Series 1 and Series 2, I would say Series 1 is quite the snowball just because Echo could control the jungle. In Series number 2, the fact that they could not do much in the jungle and Super Ken was able to go wild with his Fanny, I kind of feel like that's a big difference. So one of the other big differences here is jungle control. If Super Ken has space, it's going to be looking very good for BTR. But if he's already having a very losing matchup in the jungle, then it's going to be looking really bad. So Uranus, sure, we talked about it, but the jungle is going to be super key as well. And now BTR, they're the one picking up the Kaja. And you were talking about Kadita, and instantly Echo picks up the Kadita.
Come on. I mean, this one, it's got to be Uranus here, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Uranus for Echo, right?
Why not 100% in this series? Again, very typical, very meta. Sanford really likes the hero as well. Why not the Uranus? Now, with the Kadita though, still a question. Will it fall to the mid side or the roam? Pikatron though, the Kaja first pick. Now they're saying, hey yo, I want to play the pickup game.
Hey yo, JP, can you only play Kaja? Let's see what the reply is going to be, because now Keto gets to go through, and this is I love this flex pick, right?
Yeah.
Fredrin, I think it's a little boring. At least with Keto, there's a little bit more give and take here.
Honestly, like, even as an EXP laner, it's really strong, because the fact that the second skill now, Jab, damages the minion as well, makes your clear speed super fast. So with the Karita, with the Paquito, if they put Paquito in the EXP and maybe a Baxia in the jungle, the rotation speed coming in from Echo is going to be way too much that BTR may not be able to respond.
I don't know. Uranus is still up because at the end of the day, if you have a big, bulky tank that just literally plants his feet down, stands in front of the wave, he can just take it. Fanny is going to slip through their fingers again. Uranus is going to slip through their fingers again. So BTR, they're setting themselves up for success.
Should the Hilda be shown here?
Hilda or Carry here? Is Carry a good pick? Going up against Kaja and Uranus, it will melt the tanky units. I don't know. I don't know about the Hilda though.
No, based on Red Giants going up against Onyx, we see how strong the Hilda can be because a lot of people tried to kill off the Hilda. It did not work out. Look at Fanny as well as Uranus. I don't think that they can kill the or punish the Hilda early on.
I agree with that. I totally agree with you. But this also comes down to the big question of what the side lanes are going to be. Because in that previous matchup, they had side lanes that could not push out. They could not win their 1v1s. So immediately, you can see that the side lanes rotate with the Hilda to kind of cover her when the situation starts to get dire. I think this Franco is a much better pick because at least you can slow down the buffs. You can really start forcing out motions from your opponent early from a safe distance rather than putting yourself at constant risk.
And to add to that, right, with this Franco pick, it adds a sure single lock towards the Fanny who will deal damage towards the backside here. So to protect your marksman later on, to protect outplayed, it does just make sense here. Second phase, Echo. I think they will ban the mages here, right? Seeing that BTR here, so perhaps a Barca Yves ban here. There you go.
Good bans so far. Now it's all about taking out the scaling, right? Because so far, it's like, yeah, you kind of scale, but you still need the damage at the end of the day for the side of Bigatron.
So for now, both teams have Suppress, and when Suppress is there, Carry and Brody will have a very good time. Darov gets banned out, thinking that this Paquito most likely will go to the jungle, or just forcing this Paquito, making sure that it goes to the EXP. So now what other thing do they want to ban out? Do they want to ban out the Fredrin, or are you looking for a particular marksman that they don't want to give out? Maybe a Brody, because so far Outplay has been using Brody twice. Don't think it's that big of a problem, but you know, just putting it out there.
I think that the only reason why you would get rid of the Brody is because, yes, at least you have a secondary way to lock down the Fanny for a short period of time, but also because with the torn apart memories and with the way that we're expecting Echo to play, it's all about pickoffs, it's all about quick bursts, in and out, guerrilla tactics, get the kill, and you're out, profit. That's the overall game plan, and Brody definitely works in their favor.
Oh, Baxia, I like it. I like the Baxia ban, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the rotation, right?
So that means that Bigatron is like, we want this early game to go smooth, like really, really smooth.
It does make sense. We saw the head-to-head Fanny and Baxia, and there you go, the Brody. So it will be a Brody three-peat for side of Outplayed. What will Bigatron choose here? A good mage, perhaps?
I mean, they're just going to lock in the Farmis once more, right?
Again?
Farmis banned.
Oh, it's already banned. Oh, yes, from Echo's side. I was looking at Bigatron once more, hoping that they would just lock it in straight off the bat. But now, with that being said, right, at least now, where do they find that damage? They don't have access to Farsight. They don't have access to Yves. They could just go, I mean...
Wait. What about Florin mid? It's kind of crazy, but, you know, with Uranus... like, imagine how annoying it could be, right?
What about Lilia? Does Lilia work? No, it's Novaria.
Yeah, I think Novaria was going to be a safer pick, because if they go for Lilia, Kadita just one-shot, so you can't do much about that. Oh, Ling for the side of Echo.
Ooh.
Assassin going up against Assassin. You know what? This might be a high-octane match, so I'm just going to pass it over to Mirko and Eterna.
Hi! Thank you for passing it over to us, Lafel.
Wow.
Wow. Great.
We love you, Lafel, especially for that key joke. I've been making that joke from Season 7, and I've been the only one making that joke in MPL ID. So thank you, Lafel. I appreciate
1 out of 10. 1 out of 10.
See? You see, this is the response I usually get. But anyways, if you rate my jokes 1 out of 10, what would you rate the drafts?
50-50.
Okay.
50-50. Because initially I was like, okay, Bigatron got it. I'm like, no, wait, Echo, wait, no, whoa, whoa. But yeah, it was so 50-50 that at the end, it feels like a skill matchup. Both of these compositions have answers to one another, and this is looking like a great game number 3.
I agree. I think if there was a game number 3 for a matchup like this, Bigatron Alpha versus Echo, we deserve a 50-50 draft. We deserve to just let the players go all out. And I think both coaches, shout out to Aldo and Trevor for giving us an amazing draft for both of the teams, because now it's, if you lose, it's a skill issue.
You're right. So we'll see. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to a best of 1. Echo, once again from the Philippines, going against the Red Robots in Bigatron. We'll see exactly how this final game pans out as we enter the Land of Dawn.
Zyda starting on the orange buff here, trying to, well, I would say respect the orange buff steal that can come through a Fanny. JP, though, this time you can see no one actually expects this. Oh, the orange was went to the bush, but he still didn't realize it. JP, finally now visible, has to walk behind. Oh, grabs the orange buff. Cheeky little play going on. He gets chunked quite low, so Rizzo comes into cover, and Super Ken, this is going to delay his farming by a lot.
Yeah, that bought him a lot of time for the Ling to be able to do his thing, and you can even see that he is in a little bit of a lead so far. Looking at the emblems, though, very aggressive here by Zyda, going in for the Assassin emblem.
Very aggressive, right? I mean, going for the killing spree is a must. Well, technically not a must. We've seen quantum charges. Heck, we've even seen lethal ignition from Sutsujin on the Ling. So at this point, emblems are very, very flexible. And I really like the fact that Zyda went for the killing spree here. Understanding that in this game, Outplayed actually went for quantum charge instead of the killing spree for the Brody. So the main guy who's going to be assassinating in the back is Zyda. Killing spree grants you so much movement speed, so much more pressure when you get those kills.
And on top of that, like literally everyone went agility. So we're expecting a really fast-paced game, but we need to talk back onto the composition that they brought, right? Because a lot of the side of Echo, they have a lot of pick-off potential, but they are going to heavily rely on that level 4, so you can even see that the Kadita is going to roam to that bottom side to get that up. Meanwhile, Sanford and Zyda already very quick on their toes, looking for that next neutral objective.
Well, knockout strike coming down to Rizzo. Forced to run away now. Beautiful first neutral objective secured by Echo. But on the top side, you can see the pressure placed down onto Outplayed with Saken popping into the Bruce Passion. Even Super Ken, dodging away from the hook. Might go for a dive, but understanding Outplayed has that second skill. He will respect it. Outplayed does get chunked, however, and this is going to be a lot of pressure that is relieved off of that lane for Saken.
Oh, but not for him. Here's Supervin. He's going to be comboed out. That's definitely a kill on to that member. Meanwhile, Super Ken.
Whoa. Very aggressive. This is a bit too aggressive. Gets caught in the breath of the ocean. Wow, Echo. He definitely didn't expect Sanford running all the way from XP to the top lane.
That's pressure there. That's punishment coming in from Echo. Their 2 members already taken out from the side of Bigatron Alpha, going to push that lead to 1,000 here in the first 3 minutes of the game. And this is it. This is the give and take that we were talking about. The fact that both of these teams have a lot of similarities to their composition, and the fact that the Ling really answered a lot of the problems that Bigatron Alpha had for them, right? They were banking on Key to deal that damage from the backline, so as well as Saken. But with the Ling being able to dive into the backline, what's to stop Zyda from really popping off? Supervin, but he got caught out earlier on.
Here though, Super Ken going up against Sanford, getting a few good jabs. Zyda's looking for the kill right now as Super Ken is able to get out with the cable. So Rizzo chasing Sanford down, looking for a punish, but Sanford's a bit too slick with it. Just jumps around, gets out. JP caught him in the Divine Judgment, Bennett's Rage, and even the Astral Sphere. Not enough though. JP flickers out to safety.
I wonder if we're going to get stats on hooks this game. Because we got it during the challenge season. I hope we're going to get it as well. Because I'd really like to see how many times JP lands this hook. What is his impact in the game so far? But now with Sanji already picking up that Clock of Destiny, starting to scale, needs that second item as soon as possible to be able to maximize on that pickup potential. But meanwhile here, Bigatron already first on the turtle. And that's why I love the Paquito so much, right? If Super Ken gets mispositioned just a little bit, Sanford's going to be there to burst him out. But with 3 versus 4, let's see who gets the turtle.
Oh, JP's walking up now. Super Ken still waiting in the bush, jumping on the Sanji right now, but he finds, oh, he doesn't. So he's always able to escape from that. No Petrify used up just yet. Retribution battle coming through. The bloody hunt locks him down. Beautiful secure by Zyda as Super Ken's now caught. Able to escape for a bit. Astral Echo revealing all of them now. Super Ken coming back. Astral Spear connecting onto the back, and now it's a Flicker Divine Judgment to bring Sanford back. Sanford, though, is still able to escape. Not for long. Zorizo spins his way to another kill.
Oh my god! Mirko actually spun. I'm so sad that nobody saw it. But yeah, that's a 2v1. No, that's a 2v1 because Bigatron Alpha. Oh, wait a minute, Zyda! Is really gonna go for this? This is very aggressive. At least there's no lockdown there in the bottom lane, is what I meant. Echo lost 2 members, but they got the turtle. All right, so that's a little bit of trade going on here. Zyda already caught very low here with the damage coming in from Zorizo. Meanwhile, you can see that they want to be able to punish Key in this mid lane, but the hook doesn't connect onto Supervin as well.
Oh, he spots 2 members as well there, Key. Now with the Astral Echo, 3 members spotted out around that top lane.
Oh.
Beautiful bloody hunt there to stop any sort of engage, and Supervin gets caught. That should be a kill over to Outplayed with the torn apart memory. And Echo, once again, take back the gold lead.
With how many resources that was spent on that pickoff, if he didn't die, that would have been really unfortunate. But look at this. Once again, Uranus just being Uranus, doing Uranus things, already has that dominance eyes on him as well to help him out in that lane against the Paquito. But otherwise, it's still all fun and games for him, still being able to cut.
Stop talking about Uranus. Stop complimenting Uranus. Gideon hates that.
Why?
Gideon hates Uranus.
But it's a curse.
Oh, okay. Continue.
If it works that way. Really depends. But yeah, back on this again. What differences do we see that is big for the gold laners here? I was quite curious. I thought that Outplayed would have gotten a little bit more of a lead, but it turns out they're all equals. But Saken picks up that BOD.
Oh, Divine Judgment, even though Outplay flickered out of it. Bigatron Alpha are still able to find the Divine Judgment. And now the gold lead is back again towards the red robots. Vin starts off the turtle. Saken's there to help go through with it. Meanwhile, Super Ken's down below, though. Echo want to go for it. Iron Hook only onto the turtle. They're going to go try to burst this down. Super Ken was given information. Now he's rotating over, but Zyda picks it up now to Petrify. Connects and a bloody hunt to lock Super Ken down. Super Vin in the midst of it all. Sanford looking for one more punch. Saken able to dodge away from the Iron Hook. And Super Vin gets out of Zyda's catch. Still able to pinch Poise away. So Rizzo now chasing JP down. Saken trying to help. Outplayed in the bush, waiting for an ambush. Echo takes back the gold lead again.
With a huge advantage as well, taking Super Ken down, and they, oh my god, JP with a hook. Unfortunately, it does land to Zorizo of all players, so they're not going to commit onto that just yet. The question was, with them centering around that that turtle earlier on, with 3 levels that Zyda has in comparison to Super Ken, why is it that Bigatron Alpha keep committing onto this?
Yeah, that was a very weird move, and that's why you could see Echo. Again, this calculative Echo, they understood exactly how to punish Bigatron Alpha. They were kind of confused themselves, I think. Echo were like, wait, Zyda has a level lead, he has a purple buff, Super Ken is down 3 levels and doesn't have the purple buff at that moment now. Supervin going to be caught in the breath of the ocean. Sanji looking for the rough ways, but Supervin, he finds the Divine Judgment now on the Sanji, and he gets bursted down. Meanwhile, Saken caught in the midst of a team fight. Zyda buys the Windtalker, simultaneously picking up a double kill. 2 for 1, Bigatron Alpha on the back foot.
And you can see Echo looking for more to push and propel them forward. That turret is going to fall in that mid lane. Meanwhile, Super Ken looking for a kill. He doesn't even get it onto JP. And it looks like Bigatron Alpha, they're not able to find anything in return. Echo with a 1,500 gold lead in this 9th minute of the game. They're already able to get another turret in that bottom lane, looking for one in the top side, but here we go, it's 2v2.
Oh, knocked up there. Time of the Blades used up. Zyda picking up 2. Gets out. No purple buff on both of these junglers. Lord coming back up. Not a risk that both teams are willing to take to fully commit onto that team fight. But JP, take a look at that early immortality. Wants to just flicker forward to get a bloody hunt, and then he will just take the sacrifice. He'll just die. Whatever. I have the immortality, bro.
Yes, oh no!
Sanji! With a rough wave, Super Ken is down. right when the Lord spawns in, and now it's all Echo. Bigatron can no longer contest.
They can't. All they can do is open up the map and hope for a miracle, but it looks like they're gonna go ahead and contest this.
Bloody Hunt coming down, Astral Echo as well. Saida, perfect retribution. Sakan able to dash away, but Echo, they have now completely grasped onto the gold lead.
I don't even know what to say about Sanji now, right? How
so good. He's just
on
too good.
earth do you take down Super Ken on a Fanny on the Kadita with that one combo? It's just not supposed to work like that. Sanji broke the game in that sense, and Bigatron Alpha, they're looking for scraps. Super Ken unable to get that. And now he's so far behind. Zaida already level 15, Super Ken level 12. Again, this is not the story that we are used to for Bigatron Alpha. Whenever BTR play, it's always Super Ken with 2-3 levels ahead of the enemy jungler. But somehow Echo are able to really punish Super Ken and out-rotate Bigatron Alpha. And this is what we get in return.
It's through that chaos, and even up top again, Super Ken almost gets taken out by another ambush, a 2v1. Turrets, tier 2s falling across the board, bottom and top. Bigatron Alpha, they committed onto the defense in the mid lane, but it is inevitable. Echo now pushing into that mid lane with JP sandwiching them, trying to look for an angle for a good iron hook. Conceal coming down, Astral Echo revealed them in this position, but Echo will just take what is rightfully theirs and leave.
Can we see the items real quick? Like, please, just a second here, producers. Because did Saken just pick up that Malefic Roar in the 11th minute of the game?
I think it's safe
How
to say.
far behind is he?
He's pretty behind here. I mean, in this game, you can see, even though he's only been picked off once, the map control says everything, right? The fact that Echo have taken all the tier 2s down shows you that Bigatron Alpha haven't been given enough space to farm on this Beatrix. Saken is severely behind JP with a brilliant iron hook into the breath of the ocean. Now Super Vin in the midst of it all with the better stretch coming down into the back line. Zaida! Now caught in the Divine Judgment, gone down! Zaida! Able to escape as Echo demolish the front line of Bigatron Alpha.
Did you see what Zaida did just now, ladies and gentlemen? What in the world? He was able to use that Tempest of Blades in the final. What?
JP! Again with the iron hook, it's it! It's over! Super Ken jumping in desperation, the base wide open! Bigatron Alpha! They have fallen to Echo! They have been knocked down to the depths of the lower brackets!
What a play! What a game! What a series by Echo! With so many doubts surrounding this new roster, this MDL team against Bigatron Alpha, full of MPL players, Mirko. It looks like that was not a deterrent. That was not a factor whatsoever for the Orcas.
Not at all.
It's going to be a red bloodbath.
It
in the lower
really
brackets.
is. Yudo Red Giants, Bigatron Alpha. Wow.
I have no comment whatsoever. I'm still astounded by the play coming in from Zaida. With that, let's throw it back to the analysts.
A lot of things have to be said.
Wow.
I would say Zaida got away because he got lucky. Because at that point, if I'm not mistaken, Beatrix, all of the bullets were used, and she had the cooldown tactical recall was
more than enough.
No, was on cooldown, so you cannot reset the basic attacks.
Yeah, he was reloading basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, reloading. So, and I want to jump on our topic before the game even started. Jungle control. Look at how JP slowed down Super Ken. And that made quite a bigger difference.
I mean, these were the objectives that were learned over the past 2 games. In game 1, it was all about that jungle control. Game number 2, we saw how BTR looking to respond and not lose that early game. Echo, they just, I mean, look at the composition, right? BTR, with what they have, their main spearhead is Super Vin. When you see Super Vin, you know exactly what BTR want to do. Echo, you never know. They're going to stick as pairs. Those pairs can literally take you out in one shot. Combo components all across the board, with the only enabler for the side of BTR just being Super Vin.
Yeah, the lack of CC hurt Bigatron here because no other approach apart from the Kaja. And once the flicker is used as a defensive from that Kaja, it's just GG. It's just very hard for Bigatron to find and be proactive on the map. Again, Echo, JP, Franco. Wow, this is what I expect.
Our turret has been destroyed. Enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat! An ally has been slain. Initiate retreat! Enemy has been slain. Double kill!
Let me practice Fanny, guys.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed. I'm not here just to win training tests. You up for a training course with me? Clean it quick! Think about the future. Winterinia is not the only place we can set foot on. Clean it quick! Training. Chit chat for another time? Everyone aspires for a bright future. Clean it quick! It's the time! Cedric students know the rules. To a boundless world. I can imagine how happy our lives will be after it's all over. Remember, we aspirants embody all the hopes of humanity. One can never practice enough to make perfect. Extra time! We must defend our homeland at all costs. Clean and quick! Extra time! Wiped out. The strongest aspirant takes on the heaviest responsibility. I am ready. Your team destroyed the turret! Clean and quick! The Ender, merely slightly advanced trainer bot. Never give up. We must defend our homeland at all costs. Extra time! Cleaning up! Wiped out. Extra time! One can never practice enough to make perfect. Clean and quick! Extra time! Your team destroyed the turret! Our day will come.